Hi everybody, welcome back to Movie Related. Believe it or not, this is my most anticipated...
Shh. Whisper. Whisper.
Doing Hitman's Bodyguard.
This? Fine.
Okay, believe it or not, this is actually my most anticipated review so far this year. A Quiet Place 2. And simply for the one reason. Mark hated A Quiet Place. I know. Everyone in the world loved A Quiet Place.
Yeah, ask them if they still love it.
And Mark hated it. So stand by for this review. Okay, just quickly, a little recap, Paul. A Quiet Place 2.
Well, it starts off before the other movie. So the other movie was in day whatever, and this one starts off on day one. Nothing has even happened yet. And then the monsters come, and then it flashes forward to after the last movie and continues from there.
The only reason they started it with a prequel is just to introduce the other guy. The replacement for the dad.
Yeah, so there's a new adult male character who's in this movie. You see him in the before shots. But I also liked it because I wanted to see, what's his name, Krasinski?
Yeah.
I enjoyed him in the first movie, and I was really happy to get this prelude because he was in it. You know, unfortunately, I thought it was going to be a whole prequel to A Quiet Place, but it was just a small little intro.
Little snippet. You know what, though? I enjoyed the prequel part better than the rest of the movie.
See, I enjoyed the fact that they showed us that it just happened. Boom. These creatures were there.
And they had no idea how to react.
No. And people just panicked and ran, and they were just being torn apart, and police didn't know what to do, and they showed up, like, bam, there they are. Like with the overturning of the cop car out of nowhere. Like they're just in the middle of a normal conversation, and then action started.
Yeah.
That was good. That's the way horror movies should be.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, it was not one of those, that jump scare where you know it's coming.
Well, you did see what looked like a meteor coming down.
Oh, you knew something was going on, but you thought when the cop car showed up and he turns around to walk to him and he said, "Okay, what's going on?" "Well, we really don't know. We just, and he starts turning around. "Well, I'll let you know though," and then bam, the action started. Mm-hmm. That was good. There was none of this walking through a dark area waiting for the monster to jump out at you.
Broad daylight, they're there.
So I really enjoyed that part. And then we go to the part 2 when they're leaving the farm.
Now, why exactly were they leaving the farm, which seemed to have everything that they needed?
Because they saw that fire signal off in the distance.
But there were fire signals all over the place.
They needed something. They needed help for something. They didn't really go into it. But they said to Buddy once they found him, "Did you see our signal?" "Yeah." "Did you think about coming for us?" "No." Well, maybe they're just trying to find people? I don't know.
Okay.
Well, now that the dad's not there, maybe they decided that she necessarily could do this on her own with a new baby as well, right? That they have. So they were looking for more survivors.
And so they go to one of the signal fires that they see in the distance every night. And there's one person there.
Yep.
And this is Emmett. And he has his actor name is weird. Cillian Murphy, maybe. I don't know. The guy Scarecrow in the Nolan Batman movies. Okay. He plays Emmett. How did you think he did? I thought he was great.
He was fine. Yeah.
It was fine. I mean, as far as just being a stand-in replacement for Dad, he was good.
Yeah. And but he doesn't want them there because they're dangerous.
And resources.
You've got no resources. You got a crying baby.
Yeah.
You just brought one of the monsters here when you came in.
Yeah.
So by tomorrow you got to leave.
Yeah.
But the daughter says, "You know what? I'm going to go get help. I think I know where I can find some people based on this little clue in a song that I heard on the radio." And
okay, well, let's talk about the stupid parts of the movie. That was one of them. So there's a group of survivors okay, that live on an island. And they've been broadcasting just the same song over and over again as sort of a clue to people to go beyond the sea, right? That was the song. And why wouldn't they have just taken one of those carts that were at the radio station and recorded a message saying, hey, this is where we are, and played that on repeat? No, they're going to play a song that people have to encrypt. The aliens aren't listening to your song and encrypting it.
Well, Emmett says the kind of people out there right now are not the kind of people worth saving. They're...
Well, look at the people at the
And
shore.
you're telling me that the people that aren't worth saving could never, ever hear the song Beyond the Sea and go find them.
I guess they're looking for the smart people. They could figure it out. I don't know.
It just, to me, that was a little bit like, what?
Now, the reason that she decides to go there is not necessarily because there's people there. It's because there's a radio station there with a broadcasting.
Right.
And she thinks that she can turn that weapon that they've created, that they came up with in the first movie, if they start transmitting that sound throughout the airwaves, then that will get rid of the monsters compared to just a speaker. Which, you know, especially if you're thinking kid, a young kid coming up with that, that would be an idea that kid would come up with. This is the way to do it.
However, in order for that to work, people have to be broadcasting that station everywhere. And I'm sorry, but the range of that little station would not have been very great.
No, but it would get rid of the creatures in that area.
Get rid of the creatures in that geographical location.
And
plus,
then,
people can record it and transport this to other places.
And then move it to other places.
I suppose if you're that organized. But
well, you've got to start somewhere.
Looks like the world's in chaos right now.
Yeah.
I say let the aliens have the planet. They've taken it.
Yeah.
They're done.
That sounds like Mark's plan. Give up!
There's no reason to believe that they're going to be able to find this place. They might be on a wild goose chase. Their idea that this song is a message could be completely wrong. The first time that they run into other people, they're captured and it goes bad. So everything does look kind of hopeless until success at the end, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Till they find it. And bring one of the aliens on their boat.
Well, they didn't bring the
to the island.
The alien happened to float on a boat to the island.
After they were being tortured by the people in the original village that they got to.
Right.
So it was just, although it did take a long time for that alien to show up to the people, since it was on the island before they discovered the boat.
Yeah.
You know, that part took a little while. There were some stupid scenes that, like, they had a Deep Blue Sea moment in this. Remember in Deep Blue Sea when the guy is doing the big speech and he's talking about, we're going to get organized, we're going to do this, and we're going to fight, and then the shark comes up and eats him and brings him down. Mm-hmm. They had that moment, I got to go to my family, I'm going to go to my family, and creature takes him and pulls him. Of course you're going to die. We knew he was going to die right there on the spot.
Oh, yeah.
So, and yet he seemed like the brave, good father, and he's going to fight the alien, and then he dies stupidly.
Mind you, these people are inexperienced dealing with the aliens because they've been secluded on this island, right?
They found a place that they couldn't.
They're not survivors.
No, but he knew right away. Hide the children, keep quiet, close them up, lead them away, beeping the horn. He knew some stuff. He wasn't a complete novelist in this. But it turns out it works.
Novelist or novice?
No, okay, fine.
Probably neither.
I don't know. He seemed kind of articulate. So, could have been.
So,
listen, things this movie could have done without. The brother.
Okay, why?
What was his whole point in the movie?
Had to take care of the baby.
No, he had to be the victim in everything. Bear trap. He's the liability when he's screaming.
Because of the bear trap.
He locks himself in the airtight chamber with the baby.
Because he can't go anywhere because he's injured.
Okay.
yeah, but he's also the stupidest, the only one who doesn't put the towel there.
He's just
He's
not...
the only person who ever went in there and didn't put the towel there.
He's just not a very, just end him and half your problems are done.
He was an annoying character to me because he was in baseball. He's playing at the beginning game in the baseball, and he's He's the timid kid. That's his whole role. And then he has that epiphany at the end where he's the brave guy and he stands up to the alien and he shoots him. And that's the turning point of his character for A Quiet Place 3. Coming to a theater sometime in 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, I could have done without the kid. I thought they made him too weak. Like, he was the weakest
Well, you gotta think,
character. He's a young
13
kid.
years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, but they were living through all this hard time and
He's
everything.
13,
Toughen
but
up at some
has
point.
been going through this for
Yeah.
475 days now.
He's still 13.
He'd have learned some stuff.
He would have toughened up.
Okay.
Look at every
but
other
he had his
character
foot chopped off.
No, I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about it. The whole everything he does is weak. Everything he does was weak.
And dumb.
I remember you at 13. You were not Einstein.
You're remembering yesterday.
So things I liked about this movie, the acting was good. The drama, like the intensity of the music and the quiet was well done, I thought. Things I didn't like about this movie, did it seem like there was a lot more padding in this movie? Like, okay, I'm going to take 5 minutes to do this when it could take 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was a lot I think they could have edited out and maybe put more interesting things in there. Like, to walk from one end of a train car to the other end took, it felt like 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand you have to go slow and quiet, but come on. You got some people wearing barefoot to walk. Emmett's wearing big steel-toed boots.
Yeah.
And I didn't like, although it was kind of artistic the way they did it, when you came to the drama scenes, you went from
Noise
this group,
to quiet to...
No, you went from the mom group to the Emmett group, back to this other group, to this group, because everything was happening at once.
And
they
they're
did cut
all
shots.
going through the same kind of a situation in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I also didn't like when the action first started happening, you'd hear, oh, the action's going, everything's going crazy, and then all of a sudden it's complete silence. And then just you're seeing the movement like a silent movie because you're hearing from the girl's point of view. And then back to noise and everything. Just let it go. We already know she's dead. You don't have to make that point 50 times in this movie. It's a sequel. Just let the action run so we can hear the excitement and keep the movie going.
You know what? I watched for 2 minutes. I said, you know what? This would probably be a good place to have some eerie music. I had it on mute, and I didn't even know. I thought it was part of the movie because she didn't hear it.
Boy, they don't do a lot of talking in this movie.
And you say, I'm no Einstein.
You see what I'm dealing with? Okay, well, Quiet Place 2, what do you give it? Would you recommend it?
I thought it was a good movie. I'd give it wasn't as good as the first one. I would give it a 7.
Shelve it. Don't watch it.
Oh, come on. You're just
It's not a
being
great
that way.
movie. It's not a great movie. It's not a good movie. If they had have kept the opening sequence up and did the movie with that energy, okay. But it wasn't a good movie. How did they further the story?
Because now they know a weakness of the aliens.
They knew that at the end of part 1.
They got to a place where there's other survivors. Now it looks like they might be able to take back the world.
I don't like the concept of the movie. I'm going to give it a 5. It's a 5.
Mark's bitter.
Yeah, see, I don't understand that. Even somebody who doesn't think it's a great movie can see that this is still a good movie.
No, it wasn't a good movie. It was a mediocre movie. At best.
See, Mark has never been able to explain why he hated A Quiet Place 1 so much.
But he's doubling down.
But he's doubling down on it. One of the highest rated horror movies of the year that year. Highest grossing film.
Would you call this a horror movie?
Yes. There's monsters that eat people and tear people alive. Yes, I'm saying horror movie.
I wouldn't call it a horror movie.
What, romantic comedy?
Yeah. Slapstick. I thought it was slapstick comedy.
No, it wasn't. It was just it was a suspenseful movie, but horror
With
No.
monsters.
It was a thriller. It was a thriller.
Okay, now we know why Mark doesn't like the movie. He has no idea of what a horror movie is.
I wouldn't call it a horror movie. I wasn't scared at all.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked Quiet Place 1. I liked the different approach, and it was well acted. There were some slow parts, in the movie. The son, the boy, did annoy me at some point. But I still like the movie. I'd still give it a 7. It's better than a 5. There are far worse movies out there that's not a 5. Let us know down below. Quiet Place 1 and 2. Did you like 1? Did you like 2? Just
What
curious.
was better? A Quiet Place 2 or Black Widow?
Oh, for him, no contest.
Yeah, what about you?
Black Widow was better.
Because we're talking about what is the best movie of the year so far, right? What would you say?
Yeah.
They're pretty close. They're pretty close to each other. Different genres, obviously, but yeah, very close. They're adequate movies that I enjoyed. Neither one was a standout to me as a film.
Don's getting into his politician talk. Yeah. Don't actually answer it.
I did. They're both good. 2 different types of film that I both enjoyed. I gave them both a 7.
Okay.
How could I say one's better than the other? I gave them both a 7. So,
But the talk out there is A Quiet Place 2 is best movie of the year so far. I'm just wondering, what do you think?
Best movie of the year so far? Maybe not, because there's other movies I still enjoyed. So we'll maybe do some reviews on that coming up next. Until then, let us know in the comments down below what you guys think, and until next time, we'll see you on the channel.